everybody. My name is Sandy Roberts, and I'm the Makerspace Coordinator for the Warren County Library System. I'm sorry we're having some technical difficulties. We're trying to bring in a couple of folks on Zoom as well today so that we can have a little more interactive Maker Club. We'll see if that all works out. It's the first time I'm trying something quite like this. So, could go great, could go horribly wrong. We'll find out, but that's what we do as makers. We're always trying new things. So, welcome to Maker Club with the Warren County Library System. We're going to be doing different upcycled design challenges this month. And our first one is actually going to be design a better pen or pencil. So, if you haven't already done so, I want you to go around your house and grab, whatever pens, pencils, markers, anything you can find around your house. Maybe you can talk about and compare all of these different items and kind of come up with a better design to your needs, something unique as you. Because makers are all about innovating. They take items from many different places. Things like you might take technology and traditional crafts. You might people sewing circuits into their clothes. All of those sorts of things are what makers do. And I can see that, okay, good, we are showing the right thing. I am following along on my phone, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Oh, it sounds like we're having sound issues. I'm going to try turning off my microphone and starting it again. Okay, I'm hoping that that's coming in a little bit better now. I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties today. It's a very Monday kind of a day. Okay, but as I was saying, makers like to take technology, they take craft, they take a little bit of engineering and science, they mash it all up together and they invent and create something new and interesting to make the world a better place. And that's what we're going to do in Maker Club each week. So, let me go ahead and introduce you to our helper today. Let's see if this goes well. We are going to switch over to Zoom, and it has disappeared on me, and I don't know why. It has frozen on me. Okay, one second. I'm just going to switch to my regular camera, and we'll just do that. Okay. Hey, Katie, join us. I'm unmuting you. Hi. I'm just going to check to make sure that things are working. Nope, this is not working at all. It doesn't want to grab Zoom. I'm trying. Nothing is working right today. Let me just see if I can get this to try one more time to grab Zoom. If not, we may just have to. I don't know why it's not. It doesn't want to show Zoom, and that's very strange. Okay, well, Kate, I might have to be on my own here today, which is kind of a bummer, because I can't get this to show on our tab. So, all right, best laid plans, folks. I'm going to try one more other thing to see if I can convince our my computer to go ahead and let us see the Zoom meeting. Nope, it doesn't want to show us the Zoom meeting, and that is very weird. I sincerely apologize for that, everybody. We will try again next week to see if maybe we can get someone else included. And my screen capture is now gone too. That's great. Okay. Well, Katie, maybe you can just speak when you have something to share. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of explain the design process to everybody. All right, so our goal today, and I am sorry that this is just not working out quite the way I expected. I did test it, but sometimes it's just how it goes. So we're going to play a little bit with the design process today. And what that means is engineers and makers have kind of a process they go through. It's a lot like the scientific method that they use to understand how the world works and how to make new items. So you can see up here that you start with define a problem. Okay, and we're going to start by defining a problem with our pens and pencils that we want to improve upon. Then you kind of identify any, constraints. What stuff do you have around the house? Because today it's an upcycled challenge. You can only use old pens and pencils and whatever else you find around the house. So that's one of the constraints on our work today. Then you're going to brainstorm, maybe come up with different solutions. And this is why I was hoping to have Kate help us out today, and we'll see if we can get her in here some other way. Then you pick your best solution, the one that you think is going to work the most. And then you prototype. You create a sample of that idea. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to work just right. Sometimes it's just a model. It's not even the actual item. But you want to make a prototype of your solution. Then you're going to test that. Sometimes that test is show it to other people and get feedback. Sometimes that test is actually try using it. A lot of different ways that you can do this. Then you're going to iterate. You're going to go through this process over and over again until you get your solution to exactly where you want it to be. And that's why they don't show this as like step by step, because the design process is a lot more fluid than that. You kind of move through it. When you come up with your final solution, something that you really love, then you're going to go ahead and communicate that solution to the world and share it with others. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to see, Katie, stay on voice, because I'm going to at least be able to have your voice with us. Okay?
Got it.
All right, so hopefully everybody can hear you. I'm switching over to my document camera because, dun-dun-dun, hi guys. I want to talk about some of our different pens and pencils here. And if you're in the comments, I would love to know what kinds of things you found. And I'm just going to pop the volume up on Katie here so I can hear her well. And I'm sorry that my technology is not working quite as planned today. So Katie, what kinds of items did you find around the house that you might want to use?
I have got my multicolored bunny pen, my absolute favorite pen.
Okay.
I've actually got all of them. Anyway, I've got my brush pen, I've got my gel pen, I've got my mechanical pencils, in all colors of the rainbow. So, yeah.
Very cool. So I thought maybe something that might be fun to kind of talk about as we get started here, and I encourage you guys to make a similar list to what I've got, is what are some of the advantages of the pencil, advantages of the pen, and what are advantages to both? So can you think of some things that you like about pencils? Kate? Are you still there, Katie?
Yes.
So what are some things you like about pencils?
Well, they can be erased, which is nice.
That's a good one.
They generally give a very smooth stream.
Okay.
You don't really get a lot of air bubbles like you sometimes do with pens.
That's cool.
Unless you break the tip, in which case that's a bit different.
Well, what do you like about pens?
I like that they're darker. I don't like that they smudge sometimes, though. That can be a problem.
See, I have that problem with pencils, because I know some folks that are left-handed, their hand will smudge over their pencil.
Definitely a problem sometimes, but it's even worse with pens, because when a wet pen smudges, you can't erase it.
That's true.
So if that happens, there is no undoing it.
Okay. What's another good thing about a pen?
Let's see. They come in a whole bunch of different colors.
Well, both pens and pencils come in colors, don't they?
That's true.
So I'm going to put that under the both.
Okay. Any downsides to pencils?
Um,
And if you have ideas, folks, put it into the comments, and I can add it to our little chart here. Let's see. Pencils can break. I don't find pens break as much, right?
you know, I have broken quite a few pens.
Oh, yeah?
Probably more than I have pencils, but I think that has to do with my reckless use, writing utensils less than the design in and of itself.
Gotcha. Okay. So can we think of any other good things about pens that we like? Okay. Oh, yes, Karen. They have to be sharpened. I was just thinking that one too. Perfect. Let's see. Pens. Any other good things about pens? Why do we use pens so much if we can't think of all the good things about pens? Actually, you know, one of the pluses for pens is that you can't erase it. Like, because sometimes there are situations where you don't want to erase. Right? Okay. So we've got some good ideas on both. You know, you've got lots of colors. We've got some things that are good about pens, some that are good about pencils. So now that we've kind of evaluated and observed and taken in some information about, you know, what we want to improve, what are some things that we can improve about pens or pencils? Kate, do you have any ideas? Did I lose you, Katie?
What we could improve about pens or pencils?
Yeah, what's a problem with pens and pencils that you would like to make better? Can you think of anything?
Honestly, I can't think of any without solutions.
Well, you can have a solution in mind, but you can go ahead and just suggest the problem.
Erasable pens.
Okay, want to erase pen ink. Okay, yeah, and I know that you like to, I should put a title on here, problems. Trying to write nice and big. I know that you have some erasable pen ink. One problem that I run into is that I can't use them in the dark. I used to do theater reviews, and it was really hard. Can't use in the dark. And I would have to be in a dark room and trying to take notes on the show, and I couldn't do that. Any other problems? Have you ever had a pencil or a pen roll away?
I have, but that's such a little problem given I have so many on hand. Like, I am literally probably holding 50 pencils in my hand right now.
Okay. Anyone watching have any problems with pens or pencils that they'd like to solve? And it might be something that you've seen before, but you think you can make better. Katie, I remember when you were a little bit younger, you didn't like holding pens and pencils, right? Because they were like hard on your fingers. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll put not comfortable to hold. So that's another one. And, you know, losing, I lose. How do you spell lose? Lose my pen or pencil. I lose my pen or pencil all the time. Okay, so let's pick one of these problems, Katie. Which problem do you think you feel like solving? I have written down want to erase pen ink, can't use in the dark, can roll away, not comfortable to hold, and can lose my pen or pencil. Which one do you think?
I think the dark one is probably the one that I'm most interested in personally.
Okay, so we want to solve the problem of not being able to write in the dark. Okay. So what are some things that we could do to fix that? Do you have any ideas? Did you just have a cat jump on your computer?
No, I just they just want attention.
Okay. So what are some things that we have around the house that might help us fix this problem?
LEDs.
You know what we have? Tea lights. These electric tea lights. We have those sitting around. Let's see. So, and then I've got, I don't know, I've got aluminum foil. I don't know. Got some binder clips. We've got some glow sticks. So what do we have? What do we have on hand? We've got glow sticks. We've got tea lights. We have foil. We have tape and glue. We have paper clips. We have binder clips. I have some rubber bands. Okay. So that's a pretty good list of things we have. How can we use these things? Oops, my terrible handwriting. To solve our problem. So what do you think, Katie, of the things I listed there? How can we use them to solve our problem?
Well, I could definitely see taking a glow stick,
Okay.
taping it to a pencil, and wrapping the pencil with foil.
Oh, that's a good one. Now, my only downside to the glow stick, right? Downside to the glow stick is it's going to run out. Right? It only lasts a few hours. Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a once and done. If we want, maybe we could use the tea light. If we hack the tea light, maybe we could put that onto our pen or pencil. What do you think?
Possible, but then you'd need to put the battery on there, and that would mess with the weighting of the pencil.
Okay.
Which I know probably isn't a big deal for, like, checking boxes or writing down names, but for, like, for instance, drawing, that would be a huge problem.
Okay, so that would not be good for drawing, but it might be good for other applications. Okay, well, do you have any glow sticks sitting around, Kate?
Let's find out.
All right, so you go look for glow sticks. I'm going to hack my tea light, and we'll see which solution we like better. How's that? All right, so I've got my tea light here. I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to have to get a screwdriver. I'm just going to mute Katie while she looks for stuff. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can get this open. Okay, so let's see. Now I've unscrewed that. Aha, there's my battery. Okay, got that open. I've got an LED, and I've got a battery. And if I put them together, should be able to get this to light up. It lights up. You see that? Okay. So, but I don't have any switch. I have no way to make a switch. That's a bit of a concern. So if I take my pen and I take some tape, I can make these LED legs a little nicer. And I hope at home that you're coming up with some solutions just like you saw what we did. Maybe you have different ideas for how you can solve this problem. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and tape that together, see if that works. Okay, I'm just using a little masking tape, making a really easy circuit here. Okay, and then I can go ahead and put my battery here, but as Katie said, right, this is going to be a problem because that's going to be in the way as I'm trying to use my pen. I wonder if there's a better way of how I could do that, because if I put my light way up here, I'm not going to see what I'm drawing. So I kind of have to put my light down here.
Sadly, I was not able to find any glow sticks offhand, but I did think of a simpler solution while I was looking.
What's your simpler solution?
What if instead of trying to put a glow stick or LED on the pencil, we get something else, like for instance a clipboard, and attach it to that, like a book light.
Oh, hey, neat idea. Okay, I'm going to go grab another tea light and see if I can do that. 1 second. All right, so your thought, Katie, is if I have a clipboard like this, I can attach my tea light onto the clipboard somehow.
Yes.
So what would be a good way to do that? And oh, you know what? I have a really good idea. Give me 1 second.
I also have a very good idea, but
Okay, what is your idea?
I would say, you know that little hole where sometimes people put like pencils or rope?
Oh, like this right here?
Yeah, I would put the tea light in through there and then wire it so that the battery is on the lower part, and you can put the pencil in between a connector for the battery and the tea light. That way you only are using power and it's only on when you're using the pencil.
That's an interesting idea. Like put the light up through there, because this is not working out so great for mine. I have no switch on it either, which is, see, this is all part of the iteration, right? We made our first prototype, we tested it, didn't work out so great. It's not very comfortable to use. It doesn't stay on. There's no switch, so you're going to just run out of energy. So I like this idea of, instead of trying to improve the pen, maybe we'll try and improve the place that we write on. See, this is where engineering can go really interesting. This is where all these processes can go and get pretty interesting. So I'm just kind of doing what Katie suggested. And let's see, I want to make sure I'm paying attention to which side. So if I just kind of fold this down, right? And I keep forgetting which is which. Yes. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to try to put my tea light here, and I have, you can use aluminum foil for this, but I happen to have sitting at home some of this copper tape, but you could use aluminum foil if you don't have copper tape sitting around, right? So I'm going to go ahead and see, how can I do this? Now I'm trying to figure, I got to come out with a circuit, right? Let's see, if I put this here and then just put some tape, I'm just kind of making this up as I go along. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I'm going to use this copper tape. And the reason I'm using the copper tape, friends, is that the copper tape will let me conduct electricity through my, on my clipboard here. So pressing that down, I'm going to take my battery, I'm going to stick it to the back. Okay, like that. And now I think if I come down here, let's see if I can do this. And up like this, and a little tape here. I'm just doing this really quick. Again, this is just a prototype. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look great. I'm just kind of going really fast. And then I think I can use like a little, oh, I thought I had a binder clip in here, but I don't. They're paper clips. Well, I think I can just take a paper clip, and if I cross across here, I should be able to, nope, it doesn't want to work with a paper clip. See, did I put this down right? I think I reversed my battery. Okay, so I mean, the other way to go about this is maybe just to reverse the way that we're connecting all of this and actually make a light up board, which I'm having trouble with, but you get the idea, that make the circuit on the clipboard instead. All right, so you can kind of see there's a circuit there. There's a light there. So that's another way to go, and that's one way to solve the problem. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how to think through a problem as a maker. All right, I'm coming back over here. So what I want is, or what I would like, is if you could share your solution here. So you saw kind of the way that Katie and I worked through. We did some observations, took some notes on the good and bad things about pens and pencils. Then we came up with some problems that we wanted to solve, that we could make our pencils better. We came up with some materials and some ideas for how we could do that. Some different ways that we could solve the problem that we chose. In this case, we wanted to try and write in the dark. Then we had to look for what we had on hand, because that was a constraint. And we went ahead and tried 2 different solutions that we tested. Now, I'm having trouble with the circuit on the board, and I'm not sure it's going to be bright enough, so we might need a bigger light for that. We talked about using a glow stick, which would run out of juice, basically. And the light on the pencil had too big a battery. So my brain is already thinking I could go ahead and get a smaller battery maybe, or a larger LED to light up my clipboard. So I have, if you look in the description, there's a Padlet, and I think the website is www.padlet.com/WCLmakers/maker club. And what you can do is share your ideas on that digital wall. Parents, it's totally safe. I moderate it, so no one can post there or see anything without me giving them permission. Okay? But if you go into the description for this event, you can click on that link and share your creative idea for how you can make a pen or pencil better. Okay, so I know that was a little rough because we had a lot of tech issues today, but I want to give you just an idea of that design thinking, because we're going to put that to good use as we go through Maker Club this year, okay, and this fall. I want to really get us thinking about how we go on and invent new things. All right, I hope that you will go to that Padlet and share your creations on the digital wall. You can see others and comment and like kindly and creatively to build out our community of makers. And I will be back again next week at 3 p.m., hopefully without technology issues. I will also see you for Friday STEAM at 3 o'clock. We've got Lego Club. We've got all kinds of different events. So make sure you go to warrenlib.org, check out our event calendar, and jump in and have some fun with us this fall. It can be a good kind of decompression after a long day of school, right? Okay. Well, I'm Sandy Roberts from the Warren County Library System. I hope that you stay safe and stay healthy. I hope that you're having a great back-to-school experience, and I will see you all again really soon.